Okay. We got a topic today that I think is relevant to the times that we're in. We're in interesting times. Now, whether you agree with the sentiment, the idea, whether you agree with the changes that have come in culture and society worldwide, you have to admit that we are in interesting times. We are trafficking in non-traditional waters. We are seeing things that we've never seen before. As my grandma say, people ain't people no more. I don't necessarily agree with that full sentiment, but people are people. People have just changed, right? Biblically, things are different. The way people view the Bible, the way people, even back in the day, even if somebody didn't live the Bible, they at least respected it. You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, I ain't living like I should. But don't the Bible say? Now Joker's just like, hey, it is what it is. I live how I live. I do what I want to do. I say what I want to say and bump it. You don't like it, too bad. Holla at you. We're in interesting times. So when I look at the earth, what's happening in climate, what's happening in weather, whether that is these storms, these repetitive storms, hurricane, tornadoes, whether it is the flooding, whether it is the ice caps melting, the earth is telling us, hey, y'all messing up. Y'all doing the wrong thing. But yet we still moving right along while doing the wrong thing. So then we kind of trip sometime on the results that we get. And then we kind of trip when we see the changes in the weather, the changes in the atmosphere. I think it's the same way in our families, in our communities, the same way in culture overall. We changing stuff, we doing stuff differently, and then we like, I don't understand why this ain't working. I don't understand why he or she don't act right, respond right. It don't feel the same. That's because we doing some stuff I believe that we should not do. So even though I'm asking the question, y'all probably already see my perspective. So the topic came up. The topic came up as we were on social, of course, and saw a story, of course, where, it was a robust discussion about women giving their husbands their last name as opposed to taking their husband, receiving their husband's last name. And of course, I was like, hey, heaven no. Heaven no. That was my first thought, perspective, opinion. And then I realized that a lot of women feel as though it's okay, it's appropriate for their husband to take their last name. So I want to talk about that today. And then I found this dope article. It's really good. I really encourage y'all to hang around for this article. I found this article that has seven key differences in the way men and women think. And I'm going to dig through that as much as I can. Now, we're not going to get to all seven points on this. I guarantee you we won't. For time's sake and because I have to end early today, a little earlier today than normal. Like right on time, the time we're supposed to be ending, even a little ahead of that because I have someplace to be. But I really want y'all to hang around for that because I think it'll help some of y'all in your relationships. It helped me. It reminded me of some things about myself, and it also reminded me of some things about my wife. And I think one of the biggest issues today that we're having is we're not considering the basic fundamental differences between the sexes. There's some key differences between men and women. It just is what it is. Don't matter whether you like it. Don't matter how you feel about it. Don't matter if it's politically incorrect. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. One of the things I've always been glad about is that I always have remembered what my bishop told us as men a long time ago. And that is, always be ready for the day when your wife walks in the house and says she don't want to work no more. Always be ready. Because one day she might. One day, more than likely, she probably will, even if it's just temporary. I know some of the women ain't like that. But it is. It's the truth. And the day that she does walk in the house and says, I don't want to do that no more, she should be able to do so. Oh, y'all don't like me right now. Oh, Ak, you a male chauvinist hog, not a pig, but a hog. Oh, Ak, that's old school. Ak, that's antiquated thinking. Ak, that's you an old man, and whatever. However you feel about it, but I'm telling you, fellas, structure your money. So in case your wife say I'm good, I want to start working, you can say, all right, I got you. Because if you don't, your wife 9 months pregnant, feet swole, back hurting. You know that last few days of pregnancy when their nose is spread and they just look like they uncomfortable. And your wife still going to work. She gonna be giving you a nasty side eye. You like, you all right? What's wrong? You know what's wrong with me? I want to stay home. Listen, I know that's old school thinking. Let's have this conversation. Is there ever a good reason? Is there ever a good reason for a man to take his wife's last name? Donna got a statistic that blows my mind. But is there ever a good reason to take your wife's last name? Let me say this. If I married Oprah, Oprah would be Oprah Warnock. She'd be Oprah, quotes, Winfrey Warnock. And she'd be sitting there on her show. She's like, I know what I said, but child, you know, I'm married now. She be just like the movie. I was married now. I know this is going to be some good conversation today. Let's have this conversation. Let's see who's in the room already on Clubhouse. Let's see who's in the room. Pastor Tuck and Donna's on stage. Oladipo, what's up, brother? Good morning. Shola, good morning. Don, good morning. Robin, good morning. Celeste, good morning, sis. Ashley Bailey, Canada's finest. What's up, my sister? Good morning. Hold on. PC Chandler Bailey is in the room on Clubhouse, and he's in the room in the WF Media Studios. Yeah, it is, for real, y'all. It's going down here this morning. I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit. Jermaine, good morning, my brother. Sister Marion Motley, Rialto, California. Good morning, my sister. What's up? The relationship mentor. All right, brother. All right, sir. Good morning to you. Chandler Bailey Ministry CBM is in the house. Natasha is in the house. Good morning, sis. Paul, what's up, Paul? How you doing, my friend? Good to see you, brother. Paul is in the building. What's going on, sir? Faye is in the house. How you doing, sis? Platinum Blonde, full effect. I see you. Kimberly Morgan is in the building. What's up, my sister? How you doing? Great to see you, your dad, and the family on Sunday. First Sundays. Chanel, good morning, Chanel. How you doing? Maggie, what's up, Maggie? How you doing? Pastor Jamal Bates is in this building. What's up, sir? And he'll be in the building a little bit later on today. Good morning, Jamal. Venetia, good morning, sis. Faux Lake, good morning. Jasmine, good morning. Maciek, did I say that right?
30 hertz straight up.
Maciek. I know I'm probably butchering your name, brother. I apologize, but good morning to you. Brother Nate, good morning, sir. How you doing, sir? Nate Kalu. Celeste, what's up, sis? How you doing? Georgetta Paulin, good morning to you. Sister Kelly, what's going on, sis? How you doing? Listen, y'all, let's have this conversation. Y'all drop in the comments. Y'all go ahead and drop in the comments right now. It's Clubhouse. Facebook, what y'all think, Facebook? Would you take your wife's last name, brothers? Sisters, would you want your husband to take your last name? Sisters. YouTube, what y'all think? Let's have this conversation. Let's have this talk. I think sometimes, even though whether I'm cutting up, whether y'all agree or disagree, you have to at least consider, hey, maybe this is a relevant thought, a relevant conversation. All right, family, listen. Do me a favor. Call your mama, call your daddy, call your auntie, call your cousin, call your uncle, call your friend, call your neighbor. Go if you're at work, like get up from your desk, go down the hall and tap your neighbor down there who you only see at the copy machine and at lunch or when you leave work. Tap them on their shoulder and tell them that they need to tune in right now to the Akintunde show. Hey, family, it's time to get started. Let's go.
Another track layer production, but no joke entertainment. Let's go.
Akintunde is gonna make you laugh real loud. So come on, scream it out. Akintunde is gonna make you laugh real loud. Akintunde.
Daily I shall.
It's the Akintunde Show.
Say what?
Say what?
You heard what I said.
That's right, y'all.
The Akintunde Show.
Spell it.
Tunde.
Looking for promotional products and apparel? Look no further than P&B Promotionals. Place your brand and logo on just about anything with P&B Promotionals. Over 800,000 products, caps, travel mugs, drawstring bags, water bottles, stadium cups, umbrellas, tote bags, and t-shirts. P&B Promotionals is a nationally certified advertising company. Log on to pbpromotionals.com and start your order now. pbpromotionals.com.
Imprinting the best for less.
Hey, Jalil here for Young, Black, and Nerdy, and I want to invite you to the Before Bills Night of Nostalgia, a free event for adults to experience a time before they had bills, kids, or both. June 23rd, 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. right here at WF Media Studios in Columbia, South Carolina. We're going to have old cartoons playing, free food, old video games to play, and more. Come out, fellowship, have fun. It'll be great to see you there.
At my church, we help people get better by teaching them how the word works, and we want to make sure there is no excuse not to get the word. It's our goal to make all of our ministries accessible on every smartphone, tablet, PC, and television connected to the internet. So whether you're a man who needs some wisdom, a woman who needs some encouragement, or a couple who needs guidance, the My Church channel has just what you need. Simply search for the My Church channel on Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV, or visit mychurchchannel.org. You can also download the My Church on the Go app from Apple or Google Play App Store. Constantly on the move? Check out the Word at My Church podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Or simply download the Word at My Church skill on your Alexa-enabled device. But whatever you do, make sure to stay connected. See you soon.
Stop walking in front of the prophet.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Thursday, y'all. Happy Thursday, everybody. Listen, I appreciate y'all if you're watching and listening, whether you're on Clubhouse, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on Twitter, whether you're on YouTube, whether you are on the brand new My Church channel, whether you're on the app itself or whether you're watching on the website, whether you are watching on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, you have no excuse not to be getting and receiving this content right now. We appreciate y'all. We don't take it lightly at all that y'all will show up today. Again, the topic is there ever a good reason for a man to take his wife's last name in marriage? And we'll talk about that a little bit in just a sec. A couple shout outs I want to give. First of all, I got to give a quick shout out to Tristan, one of our production assistants here. I'm gonna do this publicly. This is some real grown man stuff right here. Tristan took some correction the other day. And the reason why I bring that up because he took it like a soldier and made the shift and flowed right along with it. And do you recognize, y'all, how challenging that is for a lot of people, a lot of grown people, even twice his age or more, that nobody can tell him nothing? But I really appreciated that, how he received that and how he made that adjustment. And that's to me, that's more valuable than your attitude and how you receive things is more valuable than any money or any type of opportunities. If you can't maintain it and respond with the right attitude, you're going to mess up everything that come your way in your life. And that's just a fact. A lot of grown people right now, they really was really honest with themselves. Somebody asked them, man, granddaddy, what happened with you and grandma? And granddaddy tell you know what, son? I didn't know how to talk to people. I had a bad attitude. Always had a bad attitude. Somebody told me something when I was in my early 20s and I cussed them out. And that's how I walked around for the next 40 years. And then messed around and lost my wife. You know, it's something. Go ahead and bring Don up on screen. We cut up already. Bring Don and Pastor Tuck up. Yeah, but a lot of people would. So, you know, definitely want to make that clear. So a special shout out to Pastor Chandler Bailey, who's is still in the studio. Of course, y'all know Thunder Thursdays records from right here in the studio. And
Pastor Chandler, what's up?
Yeah, PC brought the fire this morning, Pastor Tuck.
PC, what's up?
Sir, PC was preaching the word. He was talking about for business owners. He was talking about trusting God in the gap. Oh, in the gaps when you ain't making quite as much money this week as you made last week. When you didn't make quite as much money last month as you did this month. See, sometimes everybody can't trust God in the gap, and that can become a problem for you as an entrepreneur. That was the word for Thunder Thursday. PC, where can they see the replay for Thunder Thursday? That was just one of the words. Marketplace Media Ministry Facebook page. Go follow that right now. Sign up for it. Go to Chandler Bailey Ministries, the website, get the information. Just Kingdom Business Network. When I tell you the 3S Summit was on fire this past weekend, right in here, live on the internet, hundreds of people online receiving this information blows my mind every time.
We might have to holler at Pastor Chandler.
Pastor Tuck, I'm telling you. Pastor Tuck, I'm telling you. My church.
Tell Pastor Chandler we might have to rap about my church.
Hey, PC, I don't know if you can hear Pastor Tuck, PC. Can you? I'm telling you. But I'm about to bring PC up on the screen about this topic in just a little bit. But because we want to get into this topic again, y'all.
Is my volume better? Is my volume better out?
Your volume sounds good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever you did,
we
fix
having
it.
trouble early. I had to update Clubhouse. Clubhouse has been tripping.
Clubhouse has really been tripping. Clubhouse, whoever run the Clubhouse, don't make Elon Musk have to buy y'all, because you know he'll do it. He'll buy you and he'll buy you and turn you into a Republican. But
I think that's what was happening the other day when everybody couldn't get in. You know, when they couldn't hear us the other day.
Right.
I told you I had to leave out and come back in, and I think it might have just been the update.
And you know, at the end of the day, it's all technology, it's all software, and changes come, you know, when you have software. So I don't know, but I know one thing. I got to read some of these advertisements. Yes. Donna, you got yours ready? I'm gonna take P&B Promotionals. Looking for promotional products and apparel? Look no further than P&B Promotionals. Place your brand and logo on just about anything with P&B Promotionals. Over 800,000 products. Hats, mugs, backpacks, bottles, cups, drinking glasses, lip balm, chewing gum, candy, and of course t-shirts. P&B Promotionals is a nationally certified advertising institution. Log on to pbpromotionals.com. That's pbpromotionals.com and start your order now. PB Promotionals. Imprinting the best for less. P&B Promotional. Donna, what you got, sis?
Are you in the need of a quality used vehicle? Well, consider my friends over at Woods Automotive Sales, whether you're in the market for a new vehicle or a used vehicle, foreign or domestic. Woods Automotive can get you rolling. Give them a call at 803-401-5837. That's 803-401-5837. Or go by and see Lester, our boy Lester, at 802 Hazelwood Road, Columbia, South Carolina. Woods Automotive Sales, guaranteed to ride with a smile.
All right, y'all. We thank you to all of our sponsors. We got some more coming up in just a little bit that we'll be mentioning. But I appreciate P&B Promotionals for sponsoring the show. They sponsor First Sundays. They sponsor the studio. And they're also sponsoring our upcoming Healthy Laughter television taping, which we will be announcing officially on next week. So I just appreciate all our sponsors. Special shout out to the My Church channel. Pastor Tuck does not just show up every day as a co-host, but Pastor Tuck also has written the check and sponsors the studio and puts his money behind his words of support, and I really appreciate that. So if you want to get more information about becoming a sponsor, all you have to do is give us a call at 803-738-6604. That's 803-738-6604. Shout out to KBN. Even though we're broadcasting live on KBN, KBN is also a sponsor of the studio right here that help us to underwrite cost here at WF Media Studios in Columbia, South Carolina. You need that. Let me tell you something. If you're doing business, you do ministry for people. You do business to make money, and when you make enough money, you can also help people. So I appreciate folks who are supporting us in this endeavor because it's not cheap. It costs human manpower. It costs financial dollars. It costs relationships, help. I mean, listen, it's a lot that it takes to get a business off the ground, as many of you know. All right, y'all, let's get this conversation going. Yes. Should the groom take the bride's last name? Let's go ahead and get it started right now. I'm gonna come to Pastor Tuck and Donna, and then I'm gonna see if I can get PC on before he leaves to answer this question right. Because Donna, based on some of your statistics, millennials are more open.
Oh yeah.
Than us Generation Xers and baby boomers and the older ones.
Mm-hmm, that's true. It's the statistics right now are 1 in 10 are opting to take the wife's last name.
What?
1 in 10, and those are millennials. Millennials are opting to take the wife's last name, but they have some good reasons, so to speak.
Really? What could be a good reason for a brother to take his wife's last name?
Okay, for one, a man doesn't like his.
Hold on. Let's go back to what she just said, so to speak. All right, let's make sure we heard that. They have good reasons, so to speak.
Yes.
Okay.
Or so okay. They feel.
Okay.
For one, the man.
Let's clarify it. Let's clarify.
Go ahead, Donnie. Pastor Tuck already ready.
I know, right?
Clearly, you see what his position about to be.
I already knew that. Okay. So one, the man doesn't like his last name.
Okay.
He doesn't like his last name. They don't feel that the man's last name will help their children go in life. That will give them up in life, a step up in life. Number two, not feeling attached to his own family name. Could be a father or something that wasn't around or whatever, so he doesn't feel attached to his own last name. Okay. Number three, they're making a political statement, which sometimes a lot of this is a political statement. We're just making this as a political statement. And number four, there's no heirs to pass the wife's family name on. So if the wife's family was ending there, and the husband or the groom had brothers, then he could take the wife's name, and that can continue their line if they have male children. That continue her family line. So those are four, that they feel are very legitimate reasons.
Okay. If your name's Shavanovich and you don't like your last name, I don't think nothing's wrong with the name Shavanovich. But if you don't like your last name, hey fella, look, just figure out a new way, short it or something. Shavon.
Keep going.
You about to give up the family whole name?
You're gonna be in trouble.
And if your daddy ain't got no male heirs, that ain't the worst thing in the world. I mean, hey, tell daddy to adopt a grandson or somebody. It's all kind of kids out there need a good home. Pastor Tuck, go ahead. I already see somebody put the chain on Pastor Tuck, because I'm telling you right now, if he get out the yard on this right here, if y'all let him out the yard on this right here.
Big dog comes stepping.
I'm just.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Oh, Lord.
Here we go.
I'm a little different. I'm a little different.
Okay.
Because I was listening to everything you were saying in the lead up, and you were talking about how people feel a certain way. And Donna just said because so they feel, and I think that's the problem we have in society right now. People are making decisions based on their feelings.
Okay.
And that's where all of these problems that we have are coming from. I talked about this a couple of weeks ago during the word. What we don't recognize is what happened in the Garden of Eden. When God talked about, you shouldn't eat from the knowledge of the tree of good and evil. That word knowledge means sense-based knowledge.
Right.
And that's the thing. The things that come from our five senses: see, taste, touch,
Right.
Feel, you know, and so when we started making our decisions and getting our information based on our sense realm,
right,
versus from what God told us, that's where everything ran off the rails.
Right.
And God's been trying to restore us to a place where we would forsake what our senses said and go back to trusting what he said. And we keep trying to go further in the other direction. And I don't have a problem with folks in the world doing that. But I got a problem when you say you're a believer, when you say he's your Lord, but you keep saying, I'm going to do what my senses say. Because Jesus himself said, why do you call me Lord, Lord, and do not what I say? So stop calling him your Lord if he ain't your Lord. Because if he's not Lord of all, then he's not Lord at all.
Whoa.
Wow. Okay, y'all. Let me tell you.
It's just that it's just that period. And see, that's how we got to this place where I identify as this. What did the Lord say you are?
Tell you,
now, I feel like I can be this in my household. What did the Lord say you're supposed to be in your household?
I can tell you.
I feel like this is what a husband's supposed to be. What did the Lord say? See, I don't have an option. It ain't how Pastor Tuck feel. I don't have an option what I can do for my kids. I don't have an option how I'm supposed to be to my wife. I don't have an option how to treat her. I don't have an option how I'm supposed to react to her. I don't have an option. I can't follow my emotion. And if I follow my emotion, a whole lot of y'all better lock your door.
Whoa.
Oh, wow. Y'all can see. I told y'all, Pastor Tuck was going to be very passive and laid back about this. I want to get a young. So let me see, Lexus. You're not a millennial. You are a, what are you? You're Z, Generation Z. Yeah, you Z. Okay, right? Is that
26? 26 Generation Z.
You're 26. Okay, you're a millennial. You're a millennial. Okay, so I want you to write down your thoughts. Give me 2 sentences on your thought and just pass it over. You got it. All right, she got a pad over it. Good. So yeah, I want to get a younger female's perspective. Now I see Ashley Bailey put Ashley Bailey and Mocha already dropping bombs and in the comments. And Kimberly is a millennial. Ashley's a millennial. I don't know if Mocha's a millennial or not. I can't remember because I've never asked. I don't go around asking women their age. It just kind of came up that Ashley Bailey and Kimberly are millennials. I don't know. Celeste King said, "Come on, Pastor Tuck, I'm with you on this." With 3 exclamation marks. Kimberly Morgan says Uber Beats. Whenever she put that in, that means somebody need to get a beat down for whatever the thought perspective or she's predicting that somebody's gonna get one. Chanel said, "Amen. That's good." 2 hand claps. She really meant that. Now let me see. Kelly said, "Your feelings will take you straight to hell."
That's true.
Well, y'all be funny, these copies.
My daddy used to have a saying. He said, "You old enough for your feelings not to hurt you."
Ooh, that's a whole T-shirt right there. Trademark that immediately. You old enough for your feelings not to hurt you. Wow. Paul Briggs just joined the room. What's up, Paul? Mocha Tosser said, "If the dude want to take the wife's last name, they don't need to have no kids." What?
Wow.
Look, you want me to double down?
Go ahead, double down.
This.
Go ahead.
Boy, here we go.
You were talking earlier when you talking about if you marry Oprah, her name would be Oprah Winfrey Warnock.
I wouldn't even let her hyphenate. Not me.
The only way that's why I said the only way her name would be Oprah Winfrey Warnock is if she dropped her middle name and changed her middle name to Winfrey.
Now, okay, I'm about to start something. I'm about to start. No, I ain't gonna start nothing. But here's the thing. So this was a conversation for me and my wife when we got married. I said, "Nah, we ain't doing no hyphenating."
Hyphenated name. What's wrong with hyphenated names?
No, you take the whole arc. Ain't no partial.
Because if you're not Mrs. Tucker, if you Mrs. somebody, if you Mrs. somebody Tucker, then you not my wife.
Yeah.
My wife is named Mrs. Tucker.
Yeah. Tucker's on the last name. Tucker's there.
Hey, wait a minute.
Tucker is there.
My name is not Swain Tucker.
Swain Tucker.
Right.
My name is not Swain Tucker.
Is that your mother's?
No, that's Pastor Stephanie's.
Swain.
Pastor Stephanie's maiden name was Swain.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my name is not Swain Tucker.
So her name cannot be Swain Tucker.
Exactly. And so she wanted to keep her family name, so she deleted her middle name and changed her middle name to Swain.
And Eunice did the same thing. She deleted her middle name and changed her middle name to Mitchell.
Okay. So they actually got to keep their maiden name anyway.
look at Donna. Look at that.
But guess what her last name is?
It's a compliment.
She's a Tucker.
It's a compliment.
She's a Tucker.
Yeah.
She's a Tucker.
She ain't no partial Tucker. Eunice is not a partial Warnock. She's a full Warnock.
Exactly.
Right.
She's a Tucker.
Yeah. When they call the house, they say Mrs. Warnock. They don't say Mrs. Mitchell Warnock.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. They say Mrs. Warnock.
But she can
So
say
if you want to hold on to your heritage,
say in her middle name, I'm still Mitchell.
Middle names don't even count. Who even? Most people don't even know their middle name. They don't. What's your middle name, Tristan?
No, because if
You
it's
know your middle name. You know your middle name.
Watch this. If it's an emotional, if it's a sentimental thing for you, then you just held on to your family name.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, if you're going to be part of my family, then you're going to be a part of my family.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's good right here.
But are you a part
do me a
of her
favor,
family?
Lexus, check Facebook and see what Facebook's.
You're not a part of her family.
Oh, you're on Facebook?
No,
okay.
I'm not.
All right. Wow.
But you know what? That's how.
When God put Adam to sleep, what did he do? He brought Eve to Adam.
Okay. And she had to give up her. She didn't even have a last name.
But
so it didn't matter.
She was formed out of him.
Who did he give to who?
He gave, and that's it. He gave Eve to Adam.
Exactly.
So
she became a part of his family.
Okay.
He did not become a part of her family.
Hold on, let me get some more comments in, and then we're gonna take a break, and I'm gonna bring Pastor Chandler in, and then I'm gonna read some of y'all comments now. What did Sister Jean say? Jean talking about, Sister Jean said, I'm a millennial at heart, and then she also asked a little earlier, are millennials even still getting married? I believe, I know a lot of married millennials. I believe millennials are still getting married. I think they might have different standards of what marriage is, But Donna
Lucas said Adam and Eve Jenkins.
and that's because Adam was one of them Jenkins boys. Adam was one of them Jenkins boys.
That's why. That's funny. That's hilarious.
Adam was one of them Jenkins boys.
You taking my name.
And watch this. When Kai and Courtney get married, I told them, if they have a son, they ought to name him Tucker, because that's the only way they get to keep Tucker.
That's good though. That's good. Yeah, I don't want none of my daughters to be taking my name into their marriage. No, you drop all that. You drop all of that.
Right.
Ashley said, if I love him, I'll take his name. Clicks and all. Okay.
Yep.
What's the clicks?
The clicks, some African names are clicks.
Hilarious. Okay. I totally missed that. Okay, that's good. That's good. Y'all funny in these comments. Adam
now,
and
how do you say that?
Now, Sister Jean is Singleton Stewart. So give me the details on that, Sister Jean. Sister Jean, tell me about that. Paul Briggs said, both my god sisters and god brother married Hispanics. This panel couldn't make it. Okay. Why you say that, Paul? What's that mean? You have to give me context on that.
They have a lot of names.
Interesting.
In the Hispanic culture,
Okay.
there are a lot of names.
Wow.
You take your father's name and your mother's name.
But when you call that house, you ask for Miss Rodriguez.
Paul says, shaking my head, do we not know the history to why this is a thing? World War I, World War II, families wipe out. Okay, give me details on that, Paul. Y'all putting good stuff in the comments.
What is it thing?
You mean keeping a name or dropping a name? Tell me what the details on that. Let me we got some good comments on Facebook. Okay, so all right, Facebook ain't talking yet. All right, so we'll stay over here on Clubhouse. I'm gonna bring Pastor Chandler in. I'm gonna let Pastor Chandler briefly take Donna's seat, and then we're gonna get his thoughts on this. And then don't go just yet, Donna. Okay. Don't go just yet. But listen, I sincerely hope that this conversation is stirring up some good dialogue for you in your house. Now, here's the thing: when we come back, I'm gonna get Pastor Chandler's thoughts, and then a little later, I want to dig into this article that I found. I found a really good article, I believe, that really gives some detail about the complexities, the differences between men and women, and just women and men, and just how complex those differences are. I think oftentimes, because of culture today, because of all the changes that are going on, we sometimes forget just how different we are as species. We have some considerably different perspectives, outlooks, and way that we respond to things. And I think this article nailed it. Jaleel said when he looked at it, he said it was a very traditional point of view, of course. And Jaleel, there again, is a millennial. He's 28 years old. So that's the difference. So when we come back, y'all, we're going to continue this conversation. Should the groom take the bride's last name? We're going to talk about that. Stay right there, family. This is the Akintunde Show. Don't y'all move. Looking for promotional products and apparel? Look no further than P&B Promotionals. Place your brand and logo on just about anything with P&B Promotionals. Over 800,000 products, caps, travel mugs, drawstring bags, water bottles, stadium cups, umbrellas, tote bags, and t-shirts. P&B Promotionals is a nationally certified advertising company. Log on to pbpromotionals.com and start your order now. pbpromotionals.com.
Imprinting the best for less.
Hey, Jaleel here for Young, Black, and Nerdy, and I want to invite you to the Before Bills Night of Nostalgia, a free event for adults to experience a time before they had bills, kids, or both. June 23rd, 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. right here at WF Media Studios in Columbia, South Carolina. We're going to have old cartoons playing, free food, old video games to play, and more. Come out, fellowship, have fun. It'll be great to see you there.
Stop walking in front of the prophet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, y'all. Okay, so we're on Clubhouse, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, and I think we're on Twitter. We're on Twitter, right? We are on Twitter. Yeah. Did you not connect us back to Twitter, Jaleel? Okay. I think we are on Twitter. If anybody knows that we're on Twitter, let us know. It's no big deal anyway, because if we're not showing on Twitter, because we have very little views on Twitter. But anyway, hey, we're talking about this today. Should the groom ever take the wife's last name? And Donna's statistics, her research says that 10% of women, men will take their wives' last name. Let me get some of speaking of millennials, our new production assistant, Lexus, is a millennial. She's 26 years old. You don't mind me telling people that, do you, Lexus? Okay, all right. She's 26 years old, and she said many men are very egotistical. They desire to have power, be in control. Every successful man has an even stronger foundation, woman behind him, who help him to get to his place. Why not give her some type of validation? You're already the man running the show, or the face is the platform. All right. More women are becoming established before marriage and feel as if they've worked very hard for their last name. Okay, I'm gonna come back to that. Okay, that's good perspective. That's good information. Whether you like it or not, that's her thoughts. Let's bring Pastor Chandler into this conversation. Bring PC up on the screen, Jaleel, please, and let's get a younger pastoral millennial on the screen. Go ahead, Jaleel. We good? Okay, there we go. All right, all right. PC,
what's up?
Are you with me?
I'm with you.
Oh yeah. We on the Ox Show. We ain't going nowhere.
I like the setup. It's really good.
We're working on it, sir. Now, PC, of course, he hosts Thunder Thursdays out of this very studio every Thursday morning right here at 8 o'clock a.m. And if you want to get to Thunder Thursday, tell them where they can go right now and sign up and get Thunder Thursday every week.
What's up, family? Show up at the Facebook group page, Kingdom Business Network's Marketplace, Media, and Ministry page. If you know an influencer, someone involved with media, or a ministry leader, they will definitely be encouraged by the word that I gave on God gaps and how to apply faith to fill those gaps. I'm telling you, it'll be a blessing.
My God, that was so good. You said something real quick. You mentioned something though about just the value of trusting in God and how a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we really don't want to trust in God sometimes.
No, we don't.
Yeah. And I thought that was a really good word.
I mean, because I know this is not the concept, but just to jump into it, like what happens is we allow God to take care of the birthing process. And I was even talking to one of the guys in production. I was talking to John. He's on the team, and I was telling him on the way over here. I was like, what if Mary? Since we talking about situation, what if Mary had daddy issues with Joseph and Jesus' dynamic relationship?
Ooh.
He had to understand that Joseph was the father figure,
right?
But she gave birth to Jesus, but the Heavenly Father was the one to raise him. And so what happens is with our businesses is God plants the seed, we give birth, and then we want to treat the Heavenly Father like a broke deadbeat dad and raise the business by ourselves, then only reach out to the Heavenly Father like a baby daddy when we in emergency.
When we in emergency, we come completely different when we got a problem.
It ain't nothing like business reaching out to God when you only need money.
Jesus. Okay.
So anyway, we're not here to talk about that.
Listen,
but you know what I'm saying?
Y'all got to go and get this.
Point.
Go to a 3-shot. Go to a 3-shot, Jaleel.
I'm sorry.
That Pastor Chuck can't resist it. He like, we got to get this word.
Look, why y'all talking? I'm over here searching on Facebook trying to find, and I'm on the Kingdom's Business Network. I'm trying to find where am I supposed to be now?
So type in market. We have a group page that's sponsored by Kingdom Business Network called.
Okay.
Just type in marketplace, media, and ministry. You'll see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because I'm over here lost. I'm like, man, I see the Kingdom Business Network. Where you at? Where you at?
That 3-shot.
That's a good word. Hey, Ashley Bailey said, Pastor Chandler is my internet cousin. I love it.
Did she do comedy? I saw her. I thought
she
about
really
that.
does. She does comedy with her fingers.
Okay.
She ain't stepped on the stage yet.
So what's crazy is I was about to comment and say that, and I said people might think she's my cousin for real. I don't know her like that.
No, she's funny. She's hilarious. Straight out of Canada. And Ashley and Paul and Celeste and Kimberly host the After the Ox show.
Oh wow.
So they'll drop the link in the room, and it said the hyphenated of names. I will elaborate on the After Ox show. I don't have enough space in the forum to explain. That's hilarious. PC, as a young millennial, a married man, okay, right. With 3 children. All right, you going for 4?
If we get more script,
PC.
Look, y'all got me.
You the man. You got
this what happened. This what happened. Y'all get me ready for the Breakfast Club, right? Y'all get me ready. Y'all get me ready for the Breakfast Club.
What you gonna do? You want
somebody hit you with the curve? You a pastor on here. This is what we do to pastor. We go live.
What you gonna do?
I'm open to God's desire to be fruitful and to multiply.
Okay.
Yeah, I like y'all young pastors. Y'all go ahead and do the thing.
We're gonna find a word. We're gonna find a way to say what we want to say God's will in a way that we're gonna say a yes and a no way. Or no and a yes way.
I mean, it's so good. I think Hero could use it. If he fine if he the youngest, Hero gonna hold it down. But if he want to give him one, he can hold it down. Yeah. Hero already preaching. But for real talk, when you hear this topic, this concept, okay, of should a man take his wife's name as someone, Pastor Tucker and I are solid Generation X, okay? We sitting right in it, okay? Don is a baby boomer, okay? So your thoughts on should in any way should a man take a woman's name?
I do not. I am not completely for that at all.
Okay.
And let me tell you why. Because see, I have a different definition of a husband.
Okay.
So, in marriage, the man becomes the head.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So for my dynamic, for you to take the woman's head, if the woman's name is you, you're literally saying I am not responsible in covering the marriage.
Ooh.
Say that one more time, Pastor. Say that one more time, Pastor.
You're literally, names are powerful. The first thing,
right?
I'll go deep with it in Genesis. The first thing that came out of Adam's mouth was the name creatures.
Yeah.
So what are you creating in your relationship, your romantic dynamic? Once you take her name, now you're literally changing the whole concept of marriage. And if you want to to be funny, if you want to do that, then every time she try to blame you for something, you need to tell her to fix it.
Yeah. Ooh. Hold on.
Every problem is your problem. Every problem is your problem, young lady. If he takes your name, he has a right to be playing games. I mean, if you want to game and be lazy and do what you want and live off her, I get it. I mean, take her name, but she better not try to tell you to be responsible for anything. Make sure everything's in your name, daughter.
But Pastor Chandler, this is the thing they don't even get. What happened the last time the man tried to abdicate his responsibility to a woman?
Being a mess.
Oh yeah.
We still paying the cost for
that.
Still
paying for that.
Still paying the cost for that.
So I want taking that point. Right. I want Lexus to write a response to that. Well, because I think a lot of young women don't recognize the weightiness of the office of husband, the office of head of household, the office when you take you give a woman your last name, you're responsible for her. God holds us responsible. Expand on that, PC, because I think you really tapped into a good vein, because I know somebody gonna come on here and they're gonna be in the comments, y'all some male chauvinists, and I get it all the time anyway. Okay,
Yeah.
so go ahead and expand on that a little bit, please, sir.
So like the concept of, like, first of all, legacy. And I think, in all due respect to the young lady, I know some have their preference. It's better for her to hyphenate her name with her family's legacy than to completely eradicate not taking her husband's name. Because the point of marriage is to also create something. You're creating legacy, or you're stewarding legacy. It's to go from generation to generation. And the truth be told, marriage was supposed to be to allow the blessing to go through multiple generations. Now, here's the problem. We have generational curses. So we already have generational curses that we're dealing with. I'm a pastor. That's what I believe. It's also biblical. If you study your Bible, if we have time, I can show you.
Right.
There's generational curses. There's generation blessings. There's sins. There's iniquities. Iniquities run in the bloodline. So we already have a problem when we try to do things right. How much more of a problem we gonna have, Pastor Tug, if we start doing things wrong? So that's my concept of we already have a situation.
Right.
So let's make the situation the best we can by doing things the right way, which is God's way in marriage.
And you even said something else just now, even talking about the whole hyphenated thing. The Bible says that a man shall leave his mother and father and cleave to his spouse. Yeah. So why are we trying to bring the family when God told us to leave the families when we're creating one? Yes. See, when we were talking about Pastor Stephanie even becoming a Tucker, I told her from the beginning, you're no longer a Swain. I'm no longer a Tucker. We have a door knocker on our door that said Tuckers established 1997.
Love it.
See, because we're not even the Tuckers that came before.
Right.
Yeah. We're these Tuckers. We established an entirely new generation when we were born. So because when we got married, because our whole purpose was to do exactly what you just said, in those generational curses that came before. And we raised our children different. We did everything different. In our families, we look like pariahs sometimes, because we look like the black sheep, because we did things different, but our children look entirely different.
Come on.
Wow.
That's so good.
Wow. Let's get some of the comments in. Kimberly said, people need to stop trying to recreate what already works fine. Some things don't need to be changed. Yep. Ashley said, LOL, that's why I will take his last name. I already gotta give birth to his big forehead children. Now I gotta bear the responsibility of all of it too? Nope. No thing. That's real. Hey. That's real talk right there. Paul Briggs had the after the show link already in the comments. Said, hey, you join us today, 12 o'clock p.m. for Ox Show After Show. Name, game, blame. Oh, see, that we should have had that for the title of the doggone show. I love it. Name, game, blame, boy.
Name, game, blame.
Minister Smith said, no, unfortunately, I'm old school because he's covering the wife according to the word of God. I hear you, Minister Smith. There it is.
So,
go ahead, Pastor.
So you know, my sister recently got married.
Of course, yes, sir.
And they had their child, and the big brother and me, the Bailey legacy oldest son.
Yeah,
I didn't understand at first why she didn't take our last name. I was like, we should be Kendra Bailey Daniels. That's literally what I was saying. Like, what do you mean? This is the Bailey. Do you see how hard Dad grinded? You see what he did? You know, like you see what God did. And at first, that was my thoughts. And I remember my mom said, "No, she's Kendra Daniels." And now that I look at it, even though it's, once again, just to tell somebody, it's nothing. You do what you want to do as a woman, your father relationship, whatever. I'm so glad she did what she did and honor her husband by taking his name. Because at the end of the day, and hear me clearly, if the woman does not take the husband's name and the back of your head as a man, eventually you're going to get to the place and wonder, was I enough? And the respect is earned within the name covering. And so now that, you know, her husband's being successful, God's hands on him, God's blessing his business, he's in fashion and design. She's Kendra Daniels, and we're able to celebrate him as our brother in love, but we're also able to see what God's doing with him as he covers our sister.
Right.
And so I don't know, I just wanted to bring that up because like I'm telling you, I love my name, I love my family, but in that moment, I had to see my sister step into and evolve into what God wants to do in her life. And so the man sacrifices for the woman, and the woman evolves to be with the man.
Jesus.
Watch this. What he just said was so powerful, because my wife came from, and I always describe it this way, my wife came from a household where she never ran out of money, she just ran out of checks. You understand? I was homeless in college, you understand? And so when she met me, you know, I had a little bit, I was an engineer, I was on the come up, but I couldn't match up to what daddy's bank account looked like. You know, her dad was a retired lieutenant colonel. Colin Powell served under him in the military. That's what I'm dealing with.
Wow.
And so, but when we had this conversation, I told her, we're not doing no hyphenate. I said, you want to marry me, you're going to become a Tucker. But there came a time when there was a tumultuous time in their relationship, because her parents had split up for a while. And her mom was actually living here. And her dad was trying to do a little strong arming at the time. You know, God rest his soul. Both of them have passed on. You know, everything's been reconciled. But they were having an issue, and he was calling here, and he was upsetting my wife. And at the time, she was pregnant with our second child. And it was getting to the point that she was upset. She was being stressed out. And I remember her getting so frustrated in the conversation, she handed me the phone. And I told him, I said, if you can't respect my house, don't call my house. And, you know, he got upset about it. I hung up the phone, blocked him from calling. And so I remember after that one day, he was talking to my wife on the phone, and she said, he told her, he said, your husband called himself a preacher. And she said, that's my husband. He said, but I'm your daddy. And he said, no. She said, but that's my husband. She said, and if you can't respect him, don't call here. How could she say that to him if she's carrying his name?
Wow. That's
See,
good,
that's
Pastor
that's the stuff that people don't understand. You can't come here carrying his name and then expect me to defend you when your brothers are giving you problems and your daddy giving you problems, because your
Right.
That is so good.
That's good. I think I want to shift to this other part of the show, but I want to give PC some final thoughts. You know, as we I'm hearing something is distracting. You know me, y'all know I got the ADD, and I'm hearing and when you know when anything is going on, it's like what is that? Something is playing in the background. I don't know, it's picking up something. But say something, Jaleel.
I think I know what it is.
It is. Yeah, it is. It's something in there.
Your phone, mute your Clubhouse.
There's nothing in there.
Yeah, it is.
No, I got it. I got it right here. Watch.
Okay. Oh.
Yep, there we go.
Oh, okay, all right, there it is. All right.
See, I got a little bit of technical stuff in me.
Get it.
It's still in me. It's still in me. Hey, look, he gets surprised all the time. He be like, oh, that's chilling. Oh.
Yeah, you know your stuff.
Little media.
He's coming. He coming. He's setting up shots. He like, hey, drop that down. He's pure director. But no, but final thoughts, because I know you got to. I want to hold you up but as you were talking, I saw Lexus over here writing.
Okay.
It was like Lexus was writing, like, you know, you ever seen a kid in class when the teacher say something, it's like,
yeah.
I'm no. You got some good notes, but no, give me your final thoughts on, before you check out, on what just today. I think as the generations evolve, I think a lot of things are changing, and I think they're changing, in my opinion, a lot of things are changing way too fast, and it's just like the earth is moaning and groaning. I think our families and our culture and our communities and our relationships are moaning and groaning. What's your thoughts on just some of the changes that are happening right now? Because this is what this conversation is even kind of birthed out of.
I mean, I think the attack is on our identity on so many different waves. I mean, so my last thoughts would be, like, even with this conversation, and then I'm glad we were able to laugh about it, you know, as far as a groom take his wife's last name. But if you can see the perversion that's happening in society, and to be a believer and be a Christian leader, to try to your best to stay this seeker-sensitive leader where you trying to always say the right thing. Like, you can't try to say the right thing when everyone's acting the wrong way.
Right.
You got to eventually attack issues head on.
Yeah.
And I think God is raising up a generation of leaders, and it's almost like you're going to see these new age, good old holiness, Pentecostal type preachers saying what needs to be said.
Right.
Because things are unclean. Things are unclean.
Good Lord.
And you can't say something's clean that's unclean, and you got to be salt and light in the earth. And we were talking with other pastors, and my father Bishop, he said the other day, he said the church is supposed to go, hey, over here, you're wrong, this is the right way, this is the right way, hey, there's light over here. And so if we allow people to stay, and sometimes here's the next thing, here's another thing I think sometimes we don't understand the church's responsibility, and even my responsibility. My responsibility is not to turn you away from darkness. It's for me to shine my light so you can see that you're in darkness.
Good
So
Lord.
what happens is we don't want to confront issues because we think it's going to cause a problem. The objective is not to cause a problem. The objective is to point to yours. So my point is, I think we got to take the pressure. I think faith-based leaders got to take the pressure off. Like, I can't change, like with sexuality issues. Oh, I can't change them, so I'm not going to say nothing. Your objective is to point. God does the conversion. God does the convicting. And like you mentioned, the young lady writing down notes earlier. I'm just talking. So lastly, I would say I believe we have an identity issue. I believe the reason why there's so many different ideas, you have women getting on their knees to propose to men. The devil is after identity. The devil is after holiness. The devil is after God's way. And the enemy wants to reverse things. He cannot create anything new. All he can do is confuse what God desires to be focused on. So he's confusing marriages. He's confusing names. He's confusing sexuality. And now we're in this state of situation where you have to choose your convictions or choose democracy. And God's asking his church to be salt and light in the earth. He's not asking for your opinion. He's asking you to shine your light. He's not asking you to play both cards. He's asking you to shine your light. And I think we need Christian faith leaders willing to be persecuted, not for being mean to people, but persecute me for shining my light. I am going to shine my light, and I'm going to be salt in the earth. There's no other conversation.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Because I can't try to tell you that something that's unclean and wrong is right.
Right.
I think that's what we got to do, Pastor Tuck. What's your thought, man?
Hey, all I got is Bible and bubble gum, and I just chewed my last piece.
Pastor Chandler Bailey, y'all. He is the assistant pastor of Right Direction Church International, Columbia, South Carolina. He is the youth pastor, oversees the youth ministry on all of our campuses at Right Direction Church International. He's the co-founder of the Kingdom Business Network. He is the CEO of his own record label, marketing firm, and a whole lot more. And I appreciate you, sir, hanging around and giving some insight onto this topic today. And PC, tell everybody how they can find you.
Hey, go to the website, chandlerbailey.com, and check out my media ministry right there on the website, chandlerbailey.com.
And you can catch him every Thursday. You can catch him afternoons on KBN. Every Thursday right here, Thunder Thursday. Yo, you have no excuse not to get in touch with PC. Listen, when we come back, Donna will be back in the hot seat, and we're going to talk about these 7 differences between men and women, which I think is an amazing list. We might get to 3 of them in the time we got left. So I told you I got a hard out today. So we might get to 3, but I'm going to see. Hey, family, call your mama, call your daddy, call your auntie and your uncle, and let them know if they missed it. They need to watch the replay. Chandler Bailey is on the Akintunde Show. Stay right there, family. Looking for promotional products and apparel? Look no further than P&B Promotionals. Place your brand and logo on just about anything with P&B Promotionals. Over 800,000 products, caps, travel mugs, drawstring bags, water bottles, stadium cups, umbrellas, tote bags, and t-shirts. P&B Promotionals is a nationally certified advertising company. Log on to pbpromotionals.com and start your order now. pbpromotionals.com.
Imprinting the best for less.
At my church, we help people get better by teaching them how the word works. And we want to make sure there is no excuse not to get the word. It's our goal to make all of our ministries accessible on every smartphone, tablet, PC, and television connected to the internet. So whether you're a man who needs some wisdom, a woman who needs some encouragement, or a couple who needs guidance, the My Church channel has just what you need. Simply search for the My Church channel on Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV, or visit mychurchchannel.org. You can also download the My Church on the Go app from Apple or Google Play App Store. Constantly on the move? Check out the Word at My Church podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Or simply download the Word at My Church skill on your Alexa-enabled device. But whatever you do, make sure to stay connected. See you soon.
Stop walking in front of the prophet.
Oh, yeah.
It's Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10 o'clock a.m. on the Akintunde Show, KBN, Kingdom Business Network, My Church Channel, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV. You want to see me? Don't make me start rapping. I got a new flow. Hey. Here we go. I got that freestyle flow. Here we go. I got that freestyle flow. It's the Akintunde Show. Bald head brother, stand up and represent. Yo, I'm a whole $1, not 50 cents. Christian over there, he don't like my style because I'm buck wild child. You know how I do it. I'm coming at you quick and I'm coming at you fast. Akintunde Show, we on your radio, on your TV, on your phone, on your tablet. Can you see me? Check your internet. If you check your connection, take the correction, the protection when the section. How about I'm coming at you quick like a flea? Okay, I lost it. Like I halfway had it. And then
You never had
I halfway had it.
You never
I never had it. I never had it. So okay, Pastor Tuck is saying I never had it. Tristan is saying I never had it. Lexus is saying I never had it. Donna, did I ever had it, Donna? Oh man. Never had it, Donna?
I'm gonna say, it was okay. It was getting there.
It was getting
getting there.
I never had it.
It was getting there. I gotta give it to him. It was getting there.
Stop with the bless your heart vibe.
See, Pastor Tuck.
Stop with the bless your heart vibe.
He said to bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
I will. I'll come again. I'll do it.
There you go.
Don't
There
make
you go.
don't
Don't
make me start
If you would
running.
have just agreed with me, Pastor Tuck, we would have just moved on, and he would have been fine.
Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Pastor Tuck say I came freestyle. Pastor Tuck say I didn't. So I know I kind of had it for a minute because I wasn't always in it. I'm in it to win it. Never sinning because I'm grinning. But I sin sometimes. But I ask God for forgiveness because I live this. I'm a Christian, 51 years old. Yes, ice cold and bold. Yo, ho. Ashy arms sometime, but that's okay. I'm sitting here and I'm gonna bust my rhymes because I'm driving to Atlanta a little bit later on. When I ride I'm gonna be on the phone, handling some business, talking to some sponsors for the show. If you want to get some more information, let me know. Hit me up, 803-738-6604. Get some sponsor information. Can we know? Hey, y'all, got it right now. This flow, tell me in Clubhouse, do I have the freestyle flow? Tell me if I got it. Tell me if I got it. Pastor Tuck got egg on his face. Tell me if I got it. Tell me if I got it. Pastor Tuck got egg on his face.
Paul Biggs said, "Don't try out for Freestyle Fridays."
He did.
Paul said that?
Yes, he did.
Really?
He did.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
Ashley Baylor says someone needs to accidentally turn down your mic.
Y'all are terrible. Keep on. I'm gonna come over to the after show room. One of these days, I'm gonna come over to the after show room and freestyle over there.
Oh, see what you started.
Paul said, "Please don't come get it."
Tristan said it was kind of like. I think they hate on me, Tristan.
I said that too. Yeah.
I think they hate on me.
You get in a flow sometimes, and then you run off the rails. Like he does get in a flow sometimes.
Those bless your heart vibes.
Hold on, it's the last comment I'm gonna read. It's the last comment. Kimberly said, in the words of Elsa on Frozen, let it go. Let it go. Gene Singleton still gave me the straight face with the surprise eyes. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to keep talking about this comment. Just tell me this conversation. Okay. So we're talking about today. Should the groom take the bride's last day? Would you say, Pastor?
No, I said when you do. Pastor Stephanie made a comment a while back that I wanted to read about this particular comment.
Please go ahead. Cool. That's Pastor Stephanie Swain Tucker.
Swain
Tucker. No. Not hyphenated.
He said no.
She's Pastor Stephanie Tucker. Her middle name is Swain. Just to be clear.
Pastor Stephanie said, "I know who I am and what my connection is to the Swains. To my connection is." And Swain is and will always be part of me. That's why I kept it. But when I got married, my life was joined with my husband.
Come on now.
And I am a Tucker, all caps, and have been for 26 years. My niece has my middle name, and so it is still in the family.
There it is, y'all. There it is.
Yeah.
And I like that.
And I guess and that's for all of y'all who think Pastor Tuck crazy. That's my wife of 26 years.
Paul Briggs says something key. This is a good question. He said, what do you do if the husband's name is already hyphenated? How do you hyphenate a hyphenated name? You leave it alone. That's my opinion.
What did he say?
He said, what do you do if the husband name is already hyphenated? Like Pastor Randolph Davis in Philadelphia. His last name is hyphenated. It's Randolph Davis. Yeah.
I mean, you can't do that. You can't do nothing about that. That came before him. That's
right.
He's stuck with that now.
Yeah. So I think the reason why I want to add this to the conversation in the time we have left is because I think oftentimes somebody will say, well, I don't understand what the problem is. I think men are just insensitive. I think men are insecure. I think men are domineering, all those different, really tropes. And I think a lot of times that becomes the narrative of culture, which is a whole other conversation, we've had on the show before, but I won't even go down that road. But I think that we're not understanding some of the basic fundamentals of the male and female makeup. Even Jaleel, who his mic is not on, but I'll say this. Jaleel said this, when he read the list, he said, yeah, that's a very traditional mindset. But you know what? Jaleel's 28 now. He's almost 30. I always tease him. I said, you're gonna be 30 in a minute. I said, you're gonna be 30 in less than 2 years, right? Actually a year and 10 months, he'll be 30 years old, right? But what I've noticed is even the things that Jaleel and I have disagreed about as a young man, even the stuff he might passionately disagree with me about, which is a significant amount, right? I've seen as he's gotten older, some of his thoughts have changed. Truth be told, some things that I was passionate about, I've evolved on, but my core values are still my core values. And as I read this list, I said, yeah, a lot of times you think who you think you are, you learn who you really are as you get older. And when you kind of get a little more settled and locked into yourself, you're like, yeah. It's like I was watching the clip. They cut a clip the other day of Pastor Tuck talking about your friend who didn't believe in spanking and then had a 1-year-old, 2-year-old, and then she had a big tree sticking out of her bag because she was, cutting behind now. And sometimes you come into life with these ideals. Some of those ideals are shaped by you. Some of them are shaped by culture. Some of them are shaped by college. Some of them are shaped by the people who you're around, community. And then you get a little bit further down the road. You like, shoot, now I get it. Now I understand. And I think that's the nature of life. That's not a bad thing. That's not an indictment. It's just facts.
But
there's a joke that says, a kid said, he was talking about when he was 16 years old, he thought his dad was the dumbest guy in the world.
Mm-hmm.
He said by the time he was 21, he was amazed at how much his dad had learned. He says, it's amazing how much he learned in 5 years.
That's hilarious.
But you said something earlier, like in another show, you talked about how when you and Yanissa got married, over time, you are not the same people that you started out as.
Oh, yeah.
You have evolved.
Right.
And so people do evolve, people do change, people, hopefully get smarter and apply that, what they've learned in life.
Right.
So things are gonna, so things do change.
They do change, as they should.
As they should, because people should be growing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's something that you just said when you were saying that, I think you said Jaleel said something about those being traditional values.
He said more traditional.
More traditional. What I think most people don't realize is that what a lot of people are calling traditional are not necessarily traditional, because traditional things change with errors.
Right.
With age groups.
Right. Yeah.
What we're talking about are biblical. The Bible has never changed. God is the same today, yesterday, and forever.
Yeah.
And a lot of things, what people are calling traditional, are simply biblical.
Yeah.
And the Bible hasn't never changed, because traditional things are the things, and that's the problem we're having in the world. The Bible says we've chosen the traditions of men over the word of God.
Right. Right.
Because the word never changed.
Right.
See, the traditions keep changing. See, at one point in time, we chose to do this. And now, because the society has changed and because things are more loose, now we start doing this. And now these things have become traditional.
Right.
But no, what we're talking about are fundamental truths.
Right.
We're talking about things that God has put in place. And I think that's where the problems come in, because we keep wanting to shape God in our image instead of being shaped in his.
Yeah.
Because he created us in his image and not vice versa. And that's where the problem keeps coming, because we keep wanting to remake God in our own image.
And that to that point, I think that what we always have to remember what we placed here to do. And that is we're here to serve God, but in nature, we're here to procreate. And that doesn't mean everybody's supposed to have a child, but that's what the family structure is for, right? And I think that one of the things when you talk about family is there's a reason why some of the more traditional structures work the way they are, the way they do. I'm not saying everything should be the same, because different families have different setups and structures for different reasons. But we should not float so far away from the foundational structure, and make so many adjustments that we lose what we were originally here to do. And again, we'll probably have to do a part 2 on this, because we didn't get, this has been really good conversation, but there's so much more left. Even on Donna's Zone, we didn't we still in the top of Donna's notes, right? The producer notes. But I want to get this in. This is Men and Women in Relationships, the 7 key differences. I'm going to read this outright. So I'm not going to read all of it, but I'm just going to read it. There was some pieces I want to dig in on. But I thought this was really solid. It says, when both partners understand how completely different women and men are expressing their feelings and emotions, they can create a loving, cooperating, and trustworthy relationship where they feel listened to, supported, and loved. Being unaware of the differences between men and women, your expectations from your partner will be to behave, feel, react, and communicate in the same way you do. Let me read that again, because I think that's so key. Said, being unaware of the differences between men and women, your expectations from your partner will be to behave, feel, react, and communicate in the same way you do. These can create resentment, judgmental feelings, and unjustified demands in your relationship. More and more people are separating each year or don't feel fulfilled in their relationships. Unable to grow together and support each other, they lose their love they once felt for each other. And then so he said there are 7 main differences between women and men that, if not clearly understand, can become the source of arguments and conflict and break down your relationships. Number 1, men try to change women's feelings, and women try to change men's behaviors.
That's true.
Ooh, that's true. Ooh. Boy, that's so good right there. Again, I'm gonna read it again. Men try to change women's feelings, and men try to change women's feelings, and women try to change men's behaviors.
Yes.
So men, and then he goes on to detail. Men try to change women's feelings by offering solutions to her problems. It's something I've done on several years, for many years, until I finally figured this out. When men are actively listening to their partner, their primary concern is to come up with a solution. Yet women only expect empathy, to be listened to and to be understood. Yes. So even to this day, when I'm listening to you, Nissa, a lot of times I'm literally, as she's saying things, my mind's like, don't respond to that. Whatever she said, that's not necessarily about you. She's emoting. That's facts. That's truth. It's like, but don't respond to it. And it's like, that's wrong, but don't respond to it. Because if you don't, you'll be at every point along the way. You'll be taking every bullet point that she's hitting getting offended with it, and you'll be trying to ride that wave, as opposed to trying to just simply letting her roll and let her get whatever she want, her feelings out, and then help her and be empathetic and work through it without getting offended. And I can be honest with you, that's work if you don't know what to do, if you don't recognize what's happening. Pastor, go ahead.
And you know, and you said something key at the beginning of this. If people don't understand the fundamental differences, and this is why this is an issue, and this is one of the key things that we teach during premarital counseling. We were fundamentally created different. God created man. It said he fashioned man from the dust of the ground and he breathed into him. So men were created from the outside in. The woman, he fashioned her, took the rib and then made her around. So he made her from the inside out.
Right.
Men deal with stuff on the surface level.
That's good.
Women internalize things.
That's right.
So we have two totally different ways of handling things, processing information.
Right.
Men, we deal with things on the surface. Women internalize things. So for a man, you give me information. I'm looking at everything on the surface level.
That's right.
And I'm going to logically, I'm looking for an answer. I'm looking for a solution. I'm looking for how to handle this. A woman, she wants to take it in and starts to feel it.
Right.
We handle things differently. So for a woman to hand me something and expect me not to try to fix it, that's ludicrous for her to even, you're asking me to operate anti who I am, against how I'm naturally made.
Exactly.
But if you don't understand that's how I'm made, you're going to be frustrated.
And you're going to blame me for something.
Exactly. You think I'm supposed to operate the way you do, but we're not, because we're too different. We're two halves to a whole.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how we complement each other.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for somebody to emote with, that's what your sister is for.
That's what your girlfriend is for.
That's what your girlfriends are for.
Yeah.
So if all you want is somebody to listen to you and to just emote with that, because men, we're not going to sit here and you tell me about a problem and we just going to be, yeah, child. No, that's not us.
That's not us.
Bring me a problem. You bring me a problem, we're going to fix it and keep moving, because to us, that's a waste of energy.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. So, boy, this is good. This is good because it's so three things. I'm coming to you next, Donna. Then Alexis, I keep want to call her Alexis. It's Lexis. Lexis asked a question that actually we're about to answer in just a little bit, which ties in right to what just Pastor Tucker was just talking about. But so many times in the past, like I said, Eunice and I have gotten into full-blown arguments in the past because on the surface level, like Pastor Tucker was just saying, I'm approaching this from a factual, evidence-based conversation. I'm taking something she said personal because that's not true. Why would you say that? Oftentimes women speak in overarching generalities. You never take me out. I'm like, what the heck you talking about? I just took you out last month.
We just went out 2 weeks ago.
What you mean?
About?
Where do we go?
And I'm legit, right? Exactly. And I'm
Where
legitimately, and then guess what? Then when you won't take responsibility for what you said, and now I'm upset. Now we digging into that. Now we just off on a tangent. Way off track. But what I've learned to do over the years, and I'm not telling you it took me, I learned to do this in 10, 15 years. It probably was 18, 20 years. So I was like, oh, she's not talking about you. She's emoting. Shut up. Be quiet. Don't take it personal. Let her ride. But again, if you don't know that, you will be frustrated, angry, ticked off, and offended by your wife. Like you're saying, she's coming from the interior. This is how she feels about this. Doesn't mean it's totally factual. That also fellas don't also take this to mean that she's totally inaccurate or what she's saying is not true.
Yes.
This is just how she feels about whatever that truth is. Donna, go ahead, and I'm coming to the article and your comments. Go ahead.
And
let me say one quick thing before Donna gets there. This is why communication is so important. You have to, and ladies, it's important for you to say, I just need to vent. If we know that we know that means This does not require any response from you.
But see, the problem with this pastor, but they don't
say to us,
they don't not do that a lot of time.
I need some help.
But see,
we
again,
don't do that all the time.
But even again, that's logical.
That's logical. That's what you think. But wait a minute. When we're in the middle of it and we are processing, sometimes we just start talking because we are processing. And as you get to know your partner over the years, then you'll fall into that, and you'll know, just like you said, you'll know. Okay, she just emoting. Let me just sit here and be quiet because I'm talking out loud. I want to, I just got to process this, and I need to put it on the table. I always call it just putting it on the table so I can look through it and see so no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But they got me hemmed up over here, and I got to, and you just sitting in the room. Looking at that. She just venting. Okay. I don't need to solve it.
Don't be offended.
Just going to vent.
Yeah. Don't be offended.
But this is the thing, Donna. You heard what you just said?
Yeah.
You said he needs to know that. So this is the thing.
I said he will know that. He will know that.
This is the thing. So if he does not, you don't have a right to get mad. If you don't communicate that, you don't have a right to get mad with him trying to solve it. And that's the point. Because if you don't tell me that you're just venting, because you say in the moment, I may not say that. Well, if you don't in the moment, he doesn't know. Because one thing about it, you all always say he should know. Mind reader was not on his resume when you married him.
And that works both ways.
Exactly.
That works both ways. So men should not do that as well.
Here's where
that works both ways.
Here's where I disagree with you on that, Pastor. I disagree with the sentiment behind it, but but the facts is this. When a woman is truly in her emotional state, she may not really be able to go there where we are and say, hey, because I've never had Eunice say, hey. Well, no, I shouldn't say never. I've had maybe once or twice Eunice say, you know what? Now, I'm gonna say this to you, and I just need to get this off my chest. And then that's for me. She's throwing up the flag. This is the penalty flag right here. I'm throwing this up right now. It is what it is, and just deal with it. And then the husband and me, again, you deal with your wife according to knowledge, okay? Right. And it's like, okay, all right, I'm just gonna take this. Don't take nothing she says personally. Just ride with it, right? But out of nearly 30 years of relationships, how many times that happened? She done that? Very few. I'm talking about less than 10. Out of 30 years of being in a relationship, almost 28 years of being married. So my point in saying that is that ain't normally a part. I don't think they can go there as much as we can always go to get there emotionally.
What I'm saying is whether or not she does it, whether or not you get good at receiving it and understanding it or not, what I'm saying is if she does not communicate that, she no longer has a right to get mad with you for operating the way that you operate.
I agree with that.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that.
I agree with that.
And that's where the problem
comes
in, because it's like you said, he keep trying to solve my problem. It's like, because that's how he's built.
Right.
He's wired that way. And you want him to, and you really want him to be wired that way. Because he's joking to sit there and be like, oh, okay, well, shoot. Then you want to go, but Donna, go ahead, because I got 8 minutes and I want to read some more this article.
It's not a bad thing that he wants to solve the issue, because that is his makeup, for him to solve the issue, for him to be your covering. That is the thing. But but it is on both sides. Like, you can't expect that's always to, it's always got to be logical. It's always got to be this. We don't think that way, and that's what men have to understand as well. That we don't think that way. We're not going to respond to you. We may not respond to you in what you deem as a logical response. We are going to go in, we're going to process it, we're going to put it on the table, we're going to talk about it to ad nauseum sometimes, even to ourselves. It's like, I can't talk about this anymore. But that is where, and I am in total agreement with Pastor Tuck, the communication between the two lie. Because as you grow together, you will find out how to communicate with your partner. And if you don't, then that's where you need counseling. That's where counseling comes in, because then you need to know how to operate in each other's space.
Right. That's so good. That's so true. Let me get some more of this article in. I think we probably we just have to make this.
We're gonna have to be part 2.
Yeah. So part 2 Tuesday is we're gonna continue this conversation. 7 key differences between men and women. Again, literally, y'all. I'm on number one. I'm on just the first point on number one. And this is good dialogue. This is good dialogue. The second part of this of the first point is women try to change men's behavior by offering advice and criticism. Even in cases where their intentions are good, men feel undermined and criticized. Instead, men desire that their partner accept them as they are and trust them to solve the problems. Which is good. Okay, let me read this real quick. Number 2, right. Men and women are motivated by different things. Good men are a bit like a border collie, which is a dog. We're happiest when we're useful. That's why the life of a good man involves constant striving for direction and meaning. Sean T. Smith, that's his quote from him. Whilst men crave to feel needed, women crave to feel cherished. Yes. The more a man feels needed in a relationship, the more he is willing to give. Men need to feel that they are trusted, appreciated, and accepted in their love relationships. And when they don't, they become less motivated and more selfish. A man's greatest fear is that he is not good enough for the woman he loves. Women need to feel that they are cherished in their relationships. When they feel their actions are appreciated and they are respected, they are willing to give more. On the other hand, when they feel their efforts are not appreciated, they become consumed and exhausted. They soon start to feel resentment and frustration towards their partner. And we have to leave it there for reading the article. But I was just speaking on those two points right there. I thought that was such good articulation. There could be one or two things that you might say, but it's like that right there. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. And I'm gonna save Lexus's comment for question for Tuesday as well. But here's the thing, y'all. Listen. Even if you don't agree with something or you think it's old or antiquated, understand how to apply it to life. You may feel things about the earth. You might not like things about our bodies, but our bodies work a very simplistic way. It's communicated. It's complex, but our bodies work very much the same as they did before, right? We made some adjustments, but the foundational models and principles are still the same. What am I talking about? You need fiber. You need you need some protein in your diet. You don't necessarily have to eat meat, but you need a good protein. You need fruit. You need water. Okay, you need vegetables. Yes. If you around here drinking sodas all the time, or if you are eating nothing but meat, I've met children who say they don't eat no vegetables. I'm like, where your mom at? So where your daddy at? They need both of them need to be taken out back and slap them. You don't eat no vegetables, none. No, all you eat is processed meat. All you eat is macaroni and meat. All you eat is bread and meat, sir. What are we raising? Well, this boy is gonna be sick. This girl's gonna have problems. She drink juice, she eats meat, and she eats starch. That's a problem. So that's how we live in our lives today in many cases. And then we like, I don't understand how I'm sick. I can tell you how you're sick, sir. I can tell you how you're sick, ma'am. Okay, so no matter how you feel about it, it is what it is. Yes, I mentioned that point, or I use that as a description because analogy is because that's how we are in relationships, fellas. You can say what you want to say. Don't let this boss chick stuff fool you. These women are primarily about the same. It's some differences, but they about the same. And guess what? Even if they don't know, they about the same. Every once in a while, they be like, what you say you want and what you acting like, that's two different things. So we got to get back to the basics on a lot of this stuff. And when you get so far away from the center, that's when you have problems. We got to get up out of here. I apologize, y'all. This is a good conversation. This is going to be a part 2, but I got a hard out for real. And I do not have a choice but to shut everything down. We got 2 minutes. Pastor Tuck, down to final thoughts as we close up. We can't even do the Kingdom Business shout out today. Final thoughts, ma'am and sir.
I think, stay tuned for number 2, because this is a conversation that is ongoing, that needs to continue, and we need to learn how to communicate.
Wow. Pastor Tuck.
You got to realize that you were made different and you communicate different, you operate different.
Right.
And if you can't respect those differences, you're never going to be in a relationship.
Y'all, and I'm gonna tell y'all something, family. Listen, to some of these brothers and sisters, you know, you see things differently, and you feel real passionate about what you believe. You gotta understand, it is what it is, whether you like it or not, and it really don't matter how you feel about it. I tell men it all the time, bro. It don't matter how you feel about it. I know one thing. Last thing I tell you this right here. So I told you this in Khalil the other day. I said, Khalil, I said, make no mistake about it. I said, your mama cares about my emotions up to the point it affects her and y'all. What do I mean by that? You can be right here stressed out and depressed all you want, and you can be emotional. I know one thing. You better handle your responsibilities. Now, and if you're not handling that, I'm not saying she's insensitive. I'm saying, bruh, as a man, you don't have the luxury to just drop off into your feelings and just stay there. You don't.
Hey. Hey, I'll tell you how I tell customer service when they always tell me to apologize. I don't care how you feel about it. I care about what you're going to do about it.
What? Jesus. 3-pointer.
Don't tell me you're sorry.
Push. Swish on that.
There it is, y'all. Listen, we'll be right back here Tuesday. We're gonna continue this conversation. Part 2.
Yes.
Part 2. Let me go and give it to you. Part 2. So we're good. Let's get this ready for the title. Part 2. It is 7 key differences between men and women in relationships. It is what it is, y'all. Hey, family. Thank you for PC Pastor Chandler for dropping in and giving his comments and his thoughts. Thank you to the whole Ox Show family and crew for dropping some bombs in the comments. I can't even read all of them. We're gonna pick this thing up on Thursday. Pastor Tuck, Donna J.
Yes.
Hey, y'all. Tristan, Jaleel, Lexus.
Yes.
Family, we thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. This is the Akintunde Show. And until Tuesday, we're going to see y'all when we see y'all. Peace.
Peace.